Hello, and I am back today, and it's been really hard to do this video today. I've really been procrastinating. It's 10 p.m., and I'm finally doing it because I promised that I will. I promised to myself that I will. And because there is no point in waiting until something gets comfortable, because it never will. For something to get comfortable to you, you have to just keep doing it until it becomes comfortable. It's not that you wake up one day and things are not, things that you always wanted to do are not uncomfortable anymore. It's not going to happen. If you want growth, you have to grow or to go through discomfort. So this is what I'm doing right now. um, I really hope to get better at these videos, and I really hope to bring value with them at some point, but I have to practice, so bear with me. So how was my week? It's been a bit better. I've been feeling better. I've had some really good, powerful realizations from the pain that I was going through, and it was very interesting to think about self-abandonment and about the concept of it, and how some people, myself included, they think they need to earn love, and this is a similar concept to people pleasing, and usually people pleasing starts with parent pleasing when we are children, and when we are, pleasing our parents to feel loved, and then we do that in our friendships, and then we do that in our relationships. It gives us the illusion of safety. It gives us the illusion that we know exactly what we need to do and who we need to be in order to be loved, in order to be safe. Because with the parents' situation, you are dependent on them 100%. So they are your safety. And if you keep carrying that pattern with you into your adult life, and you still put your safety need on somebody else, that really causes issues. And you might resonate with this, and you will definitely know what I'm talking about. So this is what I've been doing, and I've been living my life fulfilling somebody else's expectations in most at most times, and whether it's been friends or relationships, and still trying to fulfill the expectations of my father, even though he has no I would say participation in my life or safety anymore, but just an interesting thing to observe. But yeah, just realizing that you are fully capable of taking care of yourself, that you will always be there for yourself, and just reassuring yourself that, like, you're good, you're safe, you can do anything, you survived so far, and you will handle anything that comes your way. So I think, yes, being your own safety is going to be a big breakthrough in terms of those feelings of self-abandonment and people pleasing, and just knowing and understanding that although it's done for good reasons, of course, right? You want to keep peace with people, you don't want to conflict, you want to make somebody feel good. It is not building authentic long-term relationships, not with your friends, not at work, not intimate relationships, not peer relationships, none of them. Because if you are always pretending, you cannot be loved for who you are, and you always have to be pretending. And at some point, you don't even know who you are. And authentic connections mean that there have to be authentic people participating in those connections. So, of course, not all is lost if this really resonates with you, if you feel like you've been keeping quiet and just smiling and not sharing your needs and prioritizing somebody else's feelings and safety and calm over your own. It's never too late to start showing up for yourself and start noticing what triggers you, start noticing what makes you sad, what feelings come up, and use it finally as a guide to understand what is important for you and what it is that you need and what it is that you want. Because people pleasers, we get pretty accustomed to the just suppressing our feelings. It just becomes a comfortable habit that it's just feelings, it's not that serious, it's whatever, it's not that important, right? It's so much easier than to speak up and be like, okay, I don't like this. Why do I not like this? What is important for me? What can I do about it? Not from the perspective of anger or aggression, but from the perspective of curiosity and just being like, okay, what it is that I need here. And yeah, just stop dismissing the emotions. They are very powerful guides. And I thought that I'm being enlightened by being able not to pay attention to my feelings and not to take them seriously. But I've realized that this is a big pile of bullshit that was just supporting my people pleasing tendency and my fear of abandonment. Um, and me just staying in the known comfort zone, in the familiar. I really liked this. I'm not going to say the quote exactly. Oh, actually, I can. Wait, give me a second. I wrote it down in my journal. But it's from The Mountain Is You by Brianna Waste, I believe the last name is. Wonderful book about emotional intelligence and how to use your emotions as guides. So the quote is, "We are programmed to seek what we have known. Even though we think we are after happiness, we are actually trying to find whatever we are most used to." So this is what it is when we know how to meet somebody's expectations. It is simply what we are used to. And starting to look for our own desires and starting to fulfill our desires and needs, that is actually uncomfortable. And that takes effort and a lot of self-awareness and a lot of discomfort until it becomes your habit and you actually get comfortable with this. Same as with these videos, like, why am I so uncomfortable doing them? Why am I procrastinating? Not because it's unsafe or like whatever, right? But it's just uncomfortable. And we just want to stick with the familiar. But we are self aware people, we are into self development, so we don't want to do that. We want to take conscious steps on how can we grow, how can we actually get what we want, how can we actually be our authentic selves, and how can we actually give our gifts to the world. Because if we are hiding all the time, we cannot give anything to this world, and it sucks. Because we all want to feel valued, we all want to bring something meaningful. So, some things, I made some notes, um, on what it takes to finally choose yourself, right? After those years of people pleasing, You have to start practicing radical self-honesty. So no more pretending that you're fine. If something triggers you, look into it with curiosity. No more lying to yourself that you are fine. If something feels wrong, just consider it and look at it. Maybe it is something from your past that is not relevant anymore, but like just look at it. Then rewiring your definition of safety. So real safety is knowing that you have your own back no matter what. So not putting your safety on somebody else, not trying to avoid conflicts, at your own expense. So this is also a no-no. Being this, sitting with discomfort and being uncomfortable, setting boundaries, walking away from what no longer serves you. So this is, discomfort is where the transformation happens. And yeah, just trusting that your needs matter and actually listening to your wants, desires, and limits and expressing them. And you're worthy of expressing your needs. So just think about what it is, in the past week or in the past months where you were not true to yourself, where you were hiding your real emotions, where you got triggered but you just suppressed it. So just look into it with curiosity to, start finding out at least where it is that you are pleasing somebody at your own expense. Just curiosity, no judgment, no anger, no nothing. Yeah, and then just choose discomfort and choose future over the familiar past. So how can you be courageous? Just find that courage to finally be who you are, but you've been suppressing it the whole time. Yeah, so this is my message to you. Just be curious about how you feel and what you want, and maybe start expressing it as well with kindness, with curiosity. And you might start losing people, but those are not the people you want to be with in the first place if they don't want to love you for who you are, right? It is scary. It is extremely uncomfortable. But happiness is on the other side. If you're afraid to show up as who you are, then this is not happiness. This is comfort. This is familiarity. But happiness is on the other side of fear, right? So I'm gonna leave you with this week. And yeah, I wish you a wonderful week. And I will see you next Sunday. And yeah, sending you all the best wishes.